early 1870s, they started coming over, and they went to Windsor Locks, Connecticut. And the ones that came were great-grandmother Anna Welch Fahey, and she brought 6 sons. And we can't find any evidence of where her husband is buried, but we figure the husband and 1 son never left Ireland. They both died before the family came over. But she had a brother in Windsor Locks, Connecticut, and her husband had a brother in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. And they sent the money over to Ireland and got them all over here. They come over like 2 at a time, and until the whole family is over here. And then they worked on the mills in the Connecticut River, and they got the money to pay back the family. And then they stayed a little longer and made enough money to go out to Wisconsin, and 5 of them bought farms out there, and then the great-grandmother had her own farm, and 1 son went straight out to California. The railroads, I think that year, went all the way, and his name was William. So they lived in Wisconsin for a while, and then the open land up in North Dakota, the Indians had left because the buffalo had all died. So 4 of the sons went up to North Dakota to get the free land, and the great-grandmother stayed in Troy, Wisconsin on her own farm. And then the other son was my grandfather, who married an Irish girl, and because there were no Catholic churches or hospitals around the area in Wisconsin, it was all a very, very primitive area, she wanted to go back to Boston. It was the fact that she had 5 sisters that come over from Ireland had nothing to do with it, and they all settled in Boston. So that's where then my grandfather had 11 kids, and I believe the 4 brothers out in North Dakota, they all had about 10 kids, and the brother out in California had 5 kids. You know? So that's where all the family comes down from, all those people. You know? 2 of my grandfather's kids died like they were 1. The boy was about 4 and the girl was about 2. Childhood diseases were rampant in those days. Matter of fact, my father is the 2nd Thomas. Let's see, my grandfather's name was Peter. He had an identical twin who was Thomas. So his firstborn he named Thomas, and his lastborn was my father. He named him Thomas.
I was looking at that picture. Your dad, you look alike when you were younger.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, is that Grandpa? No, that's great-grandpa in that picture.
My brother looked a lot more like my father than I do. A lot of times I've been taken for a rhino on my mother's side, you know. Matter of fact, a guy at work one time, he came from Cambridge, and he asked me what my name was. It was Fahey. And he says, well, my name is Ryan. He says, I got 2 brothers that are clones of you. So I told him my mother's name was Ryan, you know. So then I found out we were cousins. I didn't even know, neither one knew the other existed. You know?